Well, here we go. Here we are. Here we go for nothing. No sports, no sweat, no foot powder, no jock straps, no sports bras. We know you don't have any athlete foot this week because you're not being an athlete. The bald-headed black man, what they call sexual chocolate, up with his take on the current sports crisis and Coronaville.
Oh, now you're gonna cut off my stuff at the end.
That's what they told me.
You know what?
The management said they're watching you, Vic.
Yeah. Man, I want them to watch. Let me say this. There's nowhere in the world major platforms can continue doing sports for the rest of this year and make you pay attention. It's going to be so hard as fuck to, excuse my language, so hard as hell, excuse my language, so hard to actually keep you interested. But you always have to have somebody who's willing to buck the system. So the first thing I thought of, Mario, was what kind of week we had. And I didn't realize that the coronavirus pandemic, daylight savings time, Friday the 13th, all in the same week. And the joke
That's too much stuff.
Dude, all in the same week. So I'm not saying that anybody paid attention. I'm not saying that it's not important. I'm just saying if you're looking for somebody to give you some refreshing moments in sports, you're not going to get them. Here's the other part that they're dealing with. They're talking about how can you get athletes to keep you interested from home? How do you wire them all to actually be able to connect all these stories that they deliver in speed and in live production? They can't. So now you have to settle for less. So before I
make a sex tape.
Best not 2 minutes. I'm not even getting there, bro.
I'm gonna make best 2 minutes you ever seen.
So wait. I'm gonna tell you guys what he's doing. Now, when he's talking about coronavirus and medical, he's all serious. He's going like, "You guys just let me tell you." Now you get to my stuff and you're talking sex.
That's right. Because you got him out there doing nasty stuff.
Man, listen.
I'm saving y'all from Vic.
Listen. Let me say this. Do you applaud this cat? I'm about to say this because I'm not sure if he's making the right move. There's only one sport that's continuing. The badass UFC MMA fights on. Dana White versus the coronavirus. Man, why you want to go do that, man? Why you want to do that? And I'm being serious. Is he setting, and I'm being serious about this, and let me just give you the quote, what he's saying. As of now, fights can't happen at the Apex here in Las Vegas because they actually moved a major fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov and versus Tony Ferguson. They moved it from Brooklyn, New York to Vegas, and then they're still updating it. So it's going to change as it evolves. And it's scheduled for the 18th in Vegas. Do you know how far away Vegas is on the 18th and that he really is going to pull this off?
No, he's not going to. See, in a minute, they're not going to have the fight at the Apex. It's going to be in Bob's backyard.
But he's going to fight. But he's going to still.
Yeah, because they can't stop you in Bob's backyard. And Auntie Jim will be making the hot dogs, okay?
Let me say this. Didn't MMA UFC start off in like...
Yes, they did.
And so if they
go... garages, right?
And I'm saying this.
It'll go back.
He's the one sport that can actually go, I'm more capable of bringing it to you still in ways that the NFL, NBA, or say even soccer can't do. So even if it gets to a point, he can scale it down. Is he being smart about it?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're looking out for their income. One of the things that we know for sure, Vic, is who's going to be the one to make the successful transition to online.
Right.
And it's got to be creative. Now, they may do it if they increase the social media. Imagine what has to change.
Working. You know they're working on that.
They're trying to figure something out.
Yes, they are.
Because you need how are they going to replace the audience participation with an online sport? So they got to look toward gaming, who manages to do it a lot with audience participation being more online based on like the apps that we use. So you hit the nail on the head, buddy. Well, how will sports adapt to online?
And those who are delivering it, you know, the way he came up, Dana came up with it versus the traditional platforms, it's just too much. There's too many partnerships, and they have to have the return on value. They always talked about this. And online, when you're just doing with streaming live, you can, and it's simple. you can't accurately get the value that's being invested in it, because now they have these contracts. They're paying these exorbitant figures to NBA players, your main VIP players, NFL or otherwise. Whereas with Dana, there are no really super groups of millionaires. There are people making money. So I'm actually saying now, on the other side, let me say this. If one person in his community catches the virus, is it done?
Oh, yeah. See, this is the part where, again, people say, well, the sport will never shut down. See, what I try reminding people, too, about their employers. But what if somebody else tells your employer who doesn't want to shut down to shut down?
Right.
So imagine if the people tell you, oh, no, we're shutting it down, and if you do it, we're coming out to arrest you.
It's totally different. I got
Then all of a sudden, that's that, right?
Right.
And they're already working with what they're going to do with people who don't concur with the legal. So no, they may listen, Vic. They may totally intend to keep their promises, but it's not up to them.
Right. He gets to sit back up here because he's making so much money off of this, and because of the way he brings it, he can actually have people set up in ways where you can just go stream this live from here to keep the brand going, and it can still make limited money versus no money at all. Problem is that the fear factor. So I'm not sure I'm not sure which side of this I'm on, because he's been able to have his players insulated, and then I'm not sure how the testing is going with his players.
So you imagine a game, Vic, where it changes so that, like, when boxers hit the bench or football players hit the bench, Cutie Pie's right there with a mic in their face going, hey, here's the Twitter, folks. On Instagram, they want to know. Here's Chet on Instagram, Bob, saying, what are you doing? So smile for Instagram. And now you got a whole different technology. Yes. You're organizing your team differently. That's the kind of stuff Vic and I would set up, right?
I would be sitting up here going, this is scalable. It's It's not for the big three sports. They're not going to be able to do this. They can't move fast enough to adjust to it.
So we would jump on this.
We would jump on this. So I give him kudos for it, because he's going, I don't have the backpack issues that you guys have. All right, I got to go to this other one, because I think the part that people are going to have to deal with when you get ready for the big sports, I call it the Corona effect. Got to say that. The aging out of the league. Some players played the last game. No retirement campaign for some. They didn't realize it's their last game. And who will be retired when the next NBA season returns? So I broke it up into two groups. And so what we're going to do, Mario, is go look at these names and say, this was their last game. So it's going to be obvious who's at the top of the list. I'm going with the NBA first. Vince Carter is 43 years old. I think he already kind of said this was his last year. But he's not getting the celebration done. Imagine him going, I think I played my last game and nobody gave a damn. You got Udonis Haslem. Nobody even seen him play as much. Kyle Korver, he's 38. Tyson Chandler, Andre Iguodala. The one that stands out a lot is Carmelo Anthony. How many of these players will not be here because they're not coming next season, which is coming up? We're talking about 2021 to 2022 season. Who's out? Who's out, man? Done. This is all right.
I mean, I think Vince could go. I don't think he really wants to do much more.
I think he's gone.
I think Vince is gone.
I think Udonis is gone.
I think Udonis is gone. I think Korver is on the fence.
I think he stays.
Because he still contributes in the way he does his thing.
Tyson.
So, funny or not, I think Tyson Chandler might actually hang out for another season.
Yeah, well, unless he works out and he really shows. You add 38 to 39 years of age, that's hard.
I don't know what he did this year with how he was doing. He was doing something in a backup role. I don't know what his numbers were, Vic.
Yeah, I'm not. They're not that much.
It doesn't look so good for Tyson Chandler, but who knows? Because centers, people who can beef it up a little bit, are still needed.
Right.
Iguodala.
Ooh, just got back, man. Just got back. And
man, I don't know. I need to know what physical injury status stuff.
Well, and remember, part of this whole consideration is that these are performance contracts, so everything is prorated based on how many games you played. There's going to be some contracts aging out.
You know, as I said, I don't know with Iguodala, Tefalo, they kind of fall. Even Anthony, Carmelo.
Oh, man. He's the big.
Well, see.
Ooh.
But, Vic, if he would sign for lesser money, he could play. The issue with all of these guys, for the most part, as far as I see, is that they have bigger contracts, too, that may be bigger, more big. The contracts may be bigger than you want to spend for them.
Right. The part of this comes
They're not playing for the minimum, right?
Right. But see, the hard part is some people are not going to have the wear and tear on their body, so they can say they conserved. But on the other end, you're also giving people time to come into the league because the younger talent's going to be out there trying to ball anyway, so they can make a name. You feel sorry for the cats that were coming out of college this year because there's nothing there to set this precedent for them to get in the league. They're going to be hurt more than anything because they're just tapped where they can't even do anything right now. I'm not saying it's impossible. So
I don't see
it's going to be hard.
I think they all could be. There's a good chance everybody on that list is gone.
Right, because of the aging
even Kyle Korver. Korver could just, you know what, because I think Kyle Korver has a broadcast. See, some of them have others. I think Korver has a broadcast career coming.
And remember, some of these contracts on the older are 1 year, 2 years. So when their time runs, it's hard for them to resign.
Let me adapt that because I've seen it a little bit. I think Vince Carter possibly has a broadcast career.
Yeah.
Some of them were doing pretty decent.
All right.
On broadcasting, commenting on the other teams or so. So
okay.
Let's see, because that would make them leave early, right?
Right.
Because the money's that good.
There you go. That, like I said,
it's like Tony Romo. How do you think he feels about retiring?
No, he's right now. He's one of the best I've seen naturally because he just has this afterlife in broadcasting, which is transitioning.
And I get to give him. They're making some buck.
Hands up for the brother.
All right.
Man.
So let's hope. We wish the best for you guys, but if you can't play the game or talk about the game, I don't know.
Okay, let's go to the 4 names. And I'm saying next year into 21-22 season will not be on the field. Let's go to that group. Drew Brees, 41. Tom Brady, 42. Adam Vinatieri, who seems like he can kick till he's 60. Phillip Rivers, 38, even though he's really out of the LA Chargers officially, but he's still tied to them until I guess somebody picks him up. Which of these players are gone with no celebration?
Well, Vinatieri's gone.
You think he's gone?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was a rough year. He seemed to have not necessarily waning skills, but inconsistency that he never had before.
He became human.
Yeah.
He became human, man.
So I think he's gone. But the 3 quarterbacks I think are there.
Oh, you think all of these quarterbacks are going to be here starting next season, not this season coming up, 2021. 21, 22. This season is gone.
I'm talking about the season coming. Oh
no, ain't no football gonna be played.
We'll see. We don't know. but you got a good point there, Vic.
Hey, man, we talk about.
See, the problem is, with the virus,
right.
It's going to have a resurgence, and if there is none, they're going to be at least worried about a resurgence.
And they go.
I didn't think about that.
They go to field to. They're doing draft.
Yeah, no.
They're having the draft. They're still going to do the draft. I think.
No,
there is no playing this year.
No, Vic, I'm with you. No, you can't because depending upon what we find out about the nature of the virus, and again, even with what we know from the other countries already,
right?
It's going like I didn't think of it, Vic, but you're right. You could tell based on what you would expect. You can cancel the NFL season now.
And here's the part that made me think of the Lakers and Golden State Warriors. LeBron, he was in perfect timing to position himself. This season come up, it's a wash.
Same thing.
And so next year. And so Anthony Davis
right,
also.
Because, see that September, October, November time hits baseball.
Yes.
NBA.
Well, the baseball
gets football.
Well, baseball's done because that's the end of their season.
Right, it's the end of their season. See, you still got all of that. That's out because even if you have a great summer. See, I can imagine. Let's take the best case scenario. Say it burns out a little bit around June.
Right.
And then everything is good.
They'll
still be scared for the fall.
There'll be some people there going, I think we can do this. But I'm saying for the most part, a lot of these quarterbacks and a lot of these big players in the NBA have families. They don't want to bring anything home to their families. So I keep saying, when you start thinking in terms of the big names. I didn't think
about that, Vic. Once again, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of shocked because I totally didn't think about it. You're right. The year is done.
Done.
You're talking about not next year, but the year after.
Yes.
So the question is, how is Drew Brees?
Right.
They might all be gone.
That's why I said who's going to be
They might all be gone. Especially, let's say, okay, we're assuming that while they're off, that their lives aren't affected by the corona.
Right.
Their kids aren't made sick. Their wives aren't made sick.
Right.
They're not sick.
Yep.
You have to have all of that go perfectly for them to come back anyway.
And the league,
I don't know.
The league is run by big name players, and most of those big name players have families.
Yeah, I didn't even think that's a very important point. I guess I'm kind of flabbergasted that it totally snuck by me, Vic.
Yeah,
it did. I didn't think about that. But that you're right. Based on the timetable, next year is out too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why I said I was going like there's going to be some aging out. Think about players who are going. I didn't even get my celebration. I didn't get to do nothing. Some people have played their last game.
LeBron. See this. Okay. See, I didn't think about that. So to have LeBron miss this season and next season. Oh God, you guys, the greatest Laker team in a while.
Done.
The greatest Laker team in a while is like. They won't even play.
No.
They won't even. Think about Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
For some of these guys, this may be two of their most productive years. Two of their most productive years. Wow, I must admit, I'm saddened by that.
Keep your fingers crossed for next season that they can. But the way this is going, you end up going, it don't look good. I'm not even counting this year, man. All right. You know what? There's alternative interests that I think we all are going to be going to. I know I've done something. This is funny. When you go to major broadcast systems, they're going to keep regurgitating the same thing because they can't be creative. And they have to keep the name brand in there for those diehard fans. Don't be laughing, bro. He's already laughing. So what I'm getting into, I think there's alternative interesting sports that you could rerun and rebroadcast, and I have some favorites, and I went to one that deals with 4 choices, Mario. And I went through these 4 choices and say, will this keep my interest? One was running with the bulls, anger management ping pong. You ever see some people get mad when they're playing ping pong? It's amazing, bro. Sumo wrestling, roping honey badgers. The one I picked, sumo. So I wanted you guys to know that because I'm an avid fan of sumo, I want to see some of the examples of the ones, Mario, and would you agree, would you go watch these if they brought a certain entertainment value? So you let me know what your alternative sport is before I do this sumo. If you had to go to something and say, I'll watch this.
I want to see running with the bull daggers. Running with the bull dykes.
See, all right.
Oh, that's not what you meant?
Yeah, okay. See, you're doing it.
I thought it was running with the...
You're doing it.
You know, like they say drag racing. That's RuPaul and his friends,
You're doing this. I know what you're doing.
I want to see drag racing.
Okay, you know what?
Because running in them heels is funny as shit.
Okay.
I want to see drag racing where you see the 6'2" men running in heels.
See.
So that's the kind of drag racing I want to see.
All right.
And running with the bull daggers.
Okay. Let me go to mine.
Okay,
mine is sumo. We're going to go for about 4 or 5 choices here to say why I'm into this and why I tend to look for this as reprogramming. First one up, I call sumo kick rocks. Just watch.
I thought he was passing gas.
See,
like you go watch this.
See, I love it. see, I will go watch because of that particular instant. That's punking somebody, dude.
Yeah, that's especially when shit might be spraying.
That's punking
It might
somebody.
be one of them wet farts.
Okay, it's, right. All right, let me go to the next one. That's wrong. The next one rolling up. Wonder if sumos boxed instead. Would you watch it? Would you watch it?
I like to watch it because I love to watch anybody whose man tits are bigger than mine.
Dude, would you watch it?
Yeah, I just want to know if they allowed to hit him in the titty. Can you kick him in the titty? Right. And I can't get my leg up that high. If I kick my leg up that high, when I bring it down, it crushes my nuts.
Mario,
so I'm just saying.
You know there are younger people watching this.
They got nuts.
Okay.
It's like one day you can't get. They still need some impressive titties.
Okay.
What do y'all think about these titties?
Okay.
They probably sensitive.
See, I know what people are going to say.
They're going to say, look at them titties.
No, they're going to say, what's wrong with you?
Why? Because I admit my man titties.
Okay.
You need to put some talcum powder on these beasts.
Okay.
You know, they sweat underneath that shit.
All right, let me go to the next one because you having too much fun. I call it the sumo two-step. Oh, I love it. See, this is why I want to watch. See, look at that. Dance-a-thon. Dancing. Gone. Pow.
That's what happens when you slap people on the titty. Look at them slapping the people's titties.
You know what?
They don't get mad.
Okay. You know what? You know what? You're
if you
wrong.
slap me in my titties, I'll be mad, kick you too. They're sensitive, damn it.
Okay. Now, this one, I hope Mario does
Messing with my
not use
titties.
This is the one that made me go, the sumo apocalypse. Just watch. 400-pound slam. Sucks in everything to earth.
Have you ever had a big woman sit on you, Vic?
No. Mario, do not do that.
I'm just saying.
Do not.
Have you ever had a big woman? This made me think. Have you ever had one of the big ones just come on you?
You
I'm
know
just saying.
See, man.
You get a big woman, you got to make some deals over what the positions y'all can use. You can't be,
I'm not switching the camera.
It'll be affecting your breath,
I'm
breathing.
not switching the camera, bro. See.
Who's going to be on top and who sleeps in the wet spot?
Okay. So I'm letting you guys know I really like sumo wrestling. You guys think I'm making fun of it.
I think that's wonderful.
I like, and I call it the sumo apocalypse. This is the one that sold me. I'm sorry. This is it. I loved it. The whole effect.
That's right. Mess around them big women. You break the bed.
This is my story.
Furniture be moving.
No,
Furniture be moving. It's like, they doing it again.
Okay.
There's a rocker.
I'm leaving it alone, man.
Just the bed be just creaking, crying. Please help me.
It's amazing that he falls into this other category.
Because Vic wants you to watch sumo. Man, you know what was bad about sumo too? They got that cloth up their ass. I'm saying that shit look uncomfortable. I don't know if you want.
My new Sportz is done.
I tell you what, write Victor and tell him you want him to wear the traditional sumo attire.
I'm sorry.
So you can see a cloth up his ass.
You know what?
If he's willing to, I tell you what, if Vic is wearing to put on a sumo, I'll put on the sumo. If Vic is willing to wear this,
you're not getting.
I'll let you see my flat ass. I want you to lose weight.
No, it ain't happening.
That'll affect your diet, your appetite.
I'm sorry, man. My new Sportz is done.
Victor Allen's new Sportz when you get your sumo on. That's right. Get your man titties, put the cloth up between the cheeks. All you need is a big old box of talcum powder. That's right. To powder down your titties and your cheeks.
Oh, God.
Get new Sportz. Only Victor thinks of this. Write and tell what you think. Could be on meds, but of course, we don't have time. New Sportz. That's right, Sportz, asshole. Sportz. Watch this shit. You ain't got no choice.
Dude, man, you own one today, man.